Back here on Our Community, I'm now talking with Paul Beckhusen. He's the director of the Coldwater Board of Public Utilities. We're going to talk about a variety of projects going on. There are things happening in Coldwater, and why don't we start with Mastronardi and the project that's going on out there, Paul?
Okay. We've got a unique opportunity with the Mastronardi facility to partner with them in a generator project. We have a need for additional electrical generation. We're going to site a facility near theirs where we'll have natural gas-fired engines, and then they will take the waste heat and the CO2 from that engine process into the greenhouse.
Okay.
So it's referred to as combined heat and power. So it's really a unique opportunity for us to showcase a project that has a benefit of what we would consider waste products, but to them it's got value.
Now, will that power be used at their facility, or is it going to be put on the grid? What are you doing with it?
It'll be put on the grid, so it'll be tied into our system, and again, that's why we'll own those assets, and that energy will be used in our case during the summer times and the peak times. Even in this winter, this cold winter we've had, we would have used them quite a bit if we would have had them this year because power prices were up.
They were up. Well, and a lot of people were using their, electricity
That's right.
because you're staying inside and
Yep, trying
cool.
to stay warm.
Exactly right. Let's talk about what's happening with some of the infrastructure items here in town.
We've got a couple of large infrastructure improvements on the wastewater side of our business. We've got some grant funding, and in particular for infrastructure in the State Street area. There's a lift station for the wastewater collection system there that's going to be replaced. And then a lining project on Montgomery Street, which will be another big project. Those will start in the late summertime, but they're both geared towards improving our capacity in the wastewater system. The Montgomery project is really there to keep groundwater out of the wastewater collection
Now,
system.
will you be tearing up the streets? Will the streets be closed, or is it going to be void of all that?
Montgomery, that work on Montgomery Street will be a lining project, so there'll be some disruption, but the streets won't be torn up. They'll be there, and they're able to line the pipe from the inside, so there'll be limited impact on the street. State Street will be a little bit larger project that requires a fairly large hole to be dug. It's basically at the intersection of State Street and Fairfield Avenue.
Okay.
And a new station will be put in there, but again, that'll be some impact, but not too much.
And when you talk about infrastructure, I mean, every city and town across the country has to take a look at, pipes that have been in the ground for a long time, or, the wastewater issues. And, it's a matter of being kind of progressive at those things.
Yeah, we try to, again, we have tremendous capital needs. We try to be as efficient as possible, so that if we know we have infrastructure under the street, we try to coincide that work with replacement of the street, so that we don't do something and turn around and have to dig up the street to do something else. So, and it's a planning process. Again, it's one of these things long term. It's smaller to take, smaller bites of the pie, if you will, than to try to eat the whole thing at once. So we want to continue on that track.
Now let's talk about something that I think everybody has in their garage, and that is old tires. And, people might not be familiar with the Power Agency over in Litchfield, their new operation utilizing tires. So we're going to have a tire collection here?
Yes. Part of that process, we're able to take whole tires, basically car tires and semi-tires, those sizes. They go into a process over there. We generate heat from that into the boiler and generate electricity. We're going to have tire collection. Right now we're looking at late April, where we'll have a weekend or two. We'll be out front with some advertising on that, but people will be able to bring in their tires and drop them off, and they'll go right from Coldwater to Litchfield.
Will it cost them anything to bring their tires?
No cost. It's again, we'll probably look at. There'll be one semi-trailer there, so as soon as the semi-trailer's filled up, then we're done. But
get there early.
If there's excess, then hopefully we'll have another one. So But again, with that operation up and running, we'll be able to do these quite often.
Well, and as you take a look at what's going on, with the city of Coldwater and the CBPU, there's the hazardous materials waste collection, there's the tires. I mean, there's a variety of things that you guys are being, again, proactive on and helping the environment in some form or fashion. And in this case, using it for energy and all that.
Yeah, again, these tires, the only option really for tires is they end up in landfills. And this is a very viable option that, again, converts what would be considered waste into a useful product.
All right. Anything else happening?
Just a lot of little projects going on, a lot of economic development opportunities, and we just keep working away at those.
And when you talk about economic opportunities, one of the things I think that we have a big advantage here in our area, in Branch County, in Coldwater in particular, is the CBPU and, controlling, working with companies on electric rates and a variety of things like that.
Yeah, we recognize that we're owned by our customers. We're here to help serve the community, and we have that unique ability to be able to package things up and one-stop shopping, if you will, for our current customers, along with anybody else who would look to come to Coldwater to start up a business.
All right. Hey, Paul, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, Paul Beckhusen. He's the director of the Coldwater Board of Public Utilities. I'm Tim Hart-Habro, and you're watching Our Community.